Manchester City against Arsenal, drama? No way, surely not. Well, yes, wait, there definitely was. What an eventful match we've had this afternoon to round up game week 5 here in the Premier League. Just unbelievable scenes, absolutely incredible game. I don't know how I'm going to sum it up in 5 minutes or less for the Football Chronicle, but I'm going to do my best. So here are 5 things that we learned from Manchester City against Arsenal in the Premier League. So, first thing that we learned is that there's definitely going to be drama in this game. That was set up extremely early on in the game. Just 4 seconds into the match was actually stopped because Rodri ended up getting hit by Kai Havertz. Just a clash literally 4 seconds in. Havertz maybe laying down a marker if you're being cynical. No yellow cards, no red cards or anything like that for it, but yeah, just a coming together there. And I actually felt really sorry for Rodri because not too long after that as well, Rodri went down injured. It was a nasty looking injury as well. It looked like he just buckled his leg basically and ended up getting took off because of it, and this comes as well in the same week that Rodri has been campaigning for players to strike and for there to be less matches in Premier League, well, in the season in general, because players are getting injured too much, and that's unfortunately happened to Rodri. He's got injured, and a player that has been pivotal for both Manchester City and Spain as well in their recent successes, someone who plays every minute of every game pretty much when he's fit. Unfortunately, he could be out for a while with that one. It did not look good, I will be honest, but I hope he's okay. But yeah, second thing we learned is that Erling Haaland is a centurion not in the Premier League, but for Manchester City anyway. He scored his 100th goal for the citizens today to open the scoring at the Etihad Stadium. Just 9 minutes into the match, an incredible defence-splitting pass from Savinho. What a signing he's been, by the way. I know he's come from a City Group club, but still, he's been signed up, he's been called up to the A-team, as it were, and he's absolutely repaying Pep Guardiola's faith in him, starting pretty much every game, gets an incredible assist there. Haaland, not easy to get through the Arsenal defence, as we'd soon find out a little bit more of in the second half, but he made it look exactly like just going between Gabriel and Saliba, and yeah, just slotting the ball into net, made it look easy. It was anything but 1-0 to Manchester City, but Man City definitely with the team on top after that. However, Arsenal kept in this game and actually went into the half-time break ahead at half-time. Unbelievable stuff. Calafiori with an absolute worldie for the third thing that we learned. He is a baller, man. I knew he was good after he played after he came on against Villa. He was really good against them. But this guy's a player. And so is Gabriel as well. Someone who got another header from a corner, just like it was against Tottenham. He did the same thing against Manchester City today for Arsenal. But as good as things were for Arsenal in terms of the scoreline at half-time, in terms of the player sheets, who was on the pitch, it was not a good thing. Leandro Trossard got sent off in the 8th minute of added on time at the end of the first half for kicking the ball away. The exact same thing that happened to Declan Rice. This time, though, it wasn't a player really just, using housery, as it were. It was just all on Trossard. It was just a bit of a brainless moment for him, unfortunately. And this can lead into another debate where people can, rightfully say, should this be a sending off? Unfortunately, with the rules of the game right now, it is a sending off. Whether it should be a sending off in football, that is a different debate. But unfortunately, you can't deny that Trossard would have been made aware of all this, as all the Arsenal players would have been after the Brighton game. They would have been made abundantly aware of this rule, what it entails, and he's just not thought. He's just had an absolute brain fade moment, I think, unfortunately, and costing his team eventually. But yeah, Arsenal had to play the entire second half at the Etihad with 10 men. Basically one of the hardest challenges you could have in modern day football, certainly the hardest challenge you could have in English football. But Arsenal seemed to pass that test. They did for a very, very long time. They produced an absolute masterclass in defending. They used all the dark arts, all the time wasting, all the feigning injuries, everything in the book to try and ensure that they got the win. And it seemed to the world as though it was going to happen for them. But up stepped John Stones. 98th minute equaliser. And now, don't get me wrong, it was coming. Man City in the game overall had nearly 80% possession, 11 shots on target, 33 shots in total. Arsenal didn't have a single shot of any description whatsoever in the entire second half and were hanging on. They had 10 men behind the ball constantly, which was their entire team, obviously. And this is not me criticising Arsenal any team in the world, even Real Madrid, if they were in this situation, down to 10 men, got to play the entire second half, they'd be doing the exact same thing as what Arsenal did. Exactly. But the thing is, very few teams could do it to the degree that Arsenal did. But yeah, 98th minute equaliser for Man City. It seemed as though Arsenal were going to go top of the Premier League. It was not to be. There was absolute afters and needles and handbags and everything going on in this match. I mean, right from the kickoff as well at the end of the game, Haaland just bodied, absolutely. But I mean, he's like, he's 6'5" of pure Viking, 100 kilograms or whatever he weighs. Like, he's going through you. Honestly, he's that kind of player. He's that kind of just target man and everything. And honestly, I'm just gonna get carried away with this game because it was genuinely that entertaining. I loved it. As a neutral in this, I absolutely loved it. I can't imagine what City and Arsenal fans were feeling through it, but it had everything. It had everything. Controversial calls, sending off, beautiful goals. It was absolutely lashing it down as well in Manchester as well. So the weather just added to it, I think. There was fights, there was disputes. Unbelievable. It had everything it should have. It was a true Super Sunday match in every sense of the word. And basically, it means that we'll do it all again at the Emirates later in the season. And it also means that Manchester City stay top of the Premier League. Arsenal, I think they go up to third now. My table's not fully updated, annoyingly. Oh no, it has updated now. Fourth place for Arsenal as it stands, behind Villa and Liverpool. Man City on 13, Liverpool and Villa on 12, Arsenal on 11. Chelsea and Newcastle both on 10 as well. Chelsea really ghosting up into the top of the table. Very, very surprising with how they are at the moment. But yeah, there we go, guys. Those are the 5 things that we learned from Arsenal against Manchester City. It's so hard to sum it up into 5 things. I've gone well past my 5 minutes. I don't care. It was probably early on in the season, my best game of the season so far, without a doubt. It absolutely delivered. And yeah, we'll do it all again very soon in the new year with these 2 sides. I can't wait. But yeah, what were your takeaways from the game? Did it surprise you? Did you see this cup result come in? And was Trossard sending off a sending off? I think it has to be, unfortunately. It sucks, but that's the rules in football right now. But yeah, for much more football content, keep it tuned to thefootballchronicle.com.